people say,
Yeah. Our dear listeners, you are listening to We Are Born Free Empowerment Radio, and I'm Bino, live in the studio here at Valdemar Strasse, number 46. Boom. Yes, and I am here to give you some music, hot music.
My name is Sally, and I'm kind of a new refugee that have been here since a year.
New refugee, newcomer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the word refugee anyways.
Yeah.
So and I come from Syria.
What do you like? You said you don't like the word refugee.
I don't like this word.
Yeah. Which one do you like?
Newcomers is better.
Yeah. Sure. Me too. I like to be called a newcomer.
Yeah, that's better, I think.
Yeah.
Refugee. Yeah.
My name is Qais and come from Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah, I am that side this way.
Cool. Bino, bien sûr, I come from the world. Me too. I don't like to say I am from this land.
Yeah.
Because I believe in everywhere. I believe in humans, and humans are free animals.
But don't you think that it's a good idea to tell where you come from, so the people would know where you were raised, or what your mother tongue was, or?
No matter. I would love to say, what would be appropriate for me to say that I come from is Great Britain. Because the language I am expressing myself, it is English.
Okay.
But unfortunately, English, it's not a mother language in any single country of Africa. So where do I belong if we follow that? So I belong everywhere. If I go to Canada, they will speak English, so maybe I'm from Canada or the US. But, So I belong to the dear bird, to the world.
حكى انه هو بينتمي للعالم كله وما بيحب يحكي انه لوين بينتمي بالضبط.
في الكرة الأرضية ينتمي هو للأرض تماما يعني. بس شو مفهوم انه بده يعيش اكثر بالحياة، شو بده يعمل، شو عم يعمل هلا؟
So tell us more about yourself now. What are you doing now?
Self-empowerment. My work, I believe in.
Okay.
Because I believe in taking power myself.
So that's what you are giving to the world, that you are
that's
part
what
of.
Even I'm trying to also to spread around, to teach the world right. But we have to take the power, by ourselves, not to wait.
So did you speak about the movement that you are making now, or?
Okay, the movement in terms of thinking and the mindset, yes. But the movement is a big thing. But what I'm doing is empowerment, to empower those who would like to be more empowered by people who are going through or who have passed through the same difficulties.
But I heard that you already were a part of a movement for refugees, right? And that's the kind of empowering that you were doing, and still.
Yes, and the movement also empowered me. Yeah.
So can you tell us how did it start?
Actually, we started not too long. It's now almost 4 years ago. To join those existing movements who were already protesting against the inhuman situation here, where they called the so-called refugees and migrants forced to live in here in Germany and also in the Europe as a whole. So So what difference we brought in this struggle is to occupy public spaces.
So that's why the movement was for, like, to occupy places that...
Yes, to show that we are here, we belong to this society. Do not isolate us.
Okay, so it was to bring you to the society and to get the exception that you are a human being.
Yes, to make people understand why we are here and why we believe that we belong to them.
Okay, and why is that?
Because we are humans.
And was that an enough reason for them? How did you show that you are a human, and how did they accept
through our protests. We established in these public spaces, we established protest tents, which also I was on the front line in this. So in this way, people saw really that we are visibly there, and no one can hide it. No one can try, even though the state tried to hide it, but it was too late for them to, So we got more attention from the people, mostly the students, younger people like you. They got more attention to our struggle and what we are demanding. And some other people, some other politicians from the left wing.
So, what was your role in those protests?
The main role I did is talking.
Did you make speeches or?
Yeah, a lot of speeches I gave. And I think this is the base where I got more strength to say, why don't we start a radio?
Okay, I will translate a bit, maybe they have questions. إنه حكى عن الحركة إنه هي بلشت مشان يورجوا للعالم اللاجئين، وهو ما بيحب كلمة لاجئين أصلا، بده يورجين إنه هو بشر مثلهم وله الحق بإنه يعيش وين ما بده، وإنه هن بدهم حقوقهم. فهو كان عم يعبر عن هالشيء من خلال احتجاجات واعتصامات، ومن خلال إنه يطلع يحكي خطابات ويحكي للناس. Speaking about change, did anything change after?
A lot.
What did change?
Now you see the power here.
What can you give examples?
The radio we set up here. The power that to see now, if you look into in the German discourse, you see that everywhere refugees are active, and you saw when you come, I don't know,
year and few months ago.
2015,
in the end of it.
Yeah, you saw how people came out to welcome you. It was because already we did this awareness, and already that this welcome of you, it was manipulated by the right wing, and the charitable organizations who wanted, we hear you see Germany, we are better than where you have passed through.
Do you think that the refugee situation now is better than when you came?
It's better. It improved this somehow, even though, of course, where there is something good, there is something bad. During your presence, again, the state, the inner minister of the federal minister, Thomas de Maizière, came out with a proposal that they should kick out the bad refugees. That's how this so-called bad and good refugees came in, and within this period they came in with proposals to amend the refugee policies quick, and they passed the the resolution, and that's what you heard about Packet Spy, which this packet criminalizes refugees, and also following that, there are some federal states, they started to denounce resident theft. That was a law which prohibits refugees, once you are assigned somewhere, not to leave that particular place to go to another area. Like if you are in Berlin, and even some areas, not all the whole city, or
like a village,
you know. So if you want to go in another area or city, like I was in Passau, if I would like to go to Munich town, I had to seek permission.
Just to go for a visit, or even
they don't mind whether visit or you want to go to buy.
Okay, so now the law is that you can't live out of the city you were sent to, but before it was you can't even go there.
Come again?
Now I live in Berlin. I can go to visit other places and come back, but I can't live in Munich. I live in Berlin.
Yes.
But before you can't even go and visit.
Before not.
Okay. So that's a good change.
ما كان فينا يطلع على غير
ما كان ولا حتى لزيارة ولا حتى ليشتري شي شغلة من قبل، فهي الشغلات المنيحة اللي تغيرت، وتغير المصاري. المصاري من قبل كان كتير قليل الكمية اللي بيعطونا اياها، فهلا كترت وصار في كمان قوانين للشغل احسن، بس بنفس الوقت في كتير شغلات سيئة صارت، يعني في كتير ناس متحفظين او
المجتمع
انه من ضد اللاجئين وهيك فاهمين.
هاي بين الفرق بين اللاجئين اللي كانوا قديم واللاجئين اللي اجوا الجداد.
Yeah, we were talking about your memory, the most thing you remember, emotional, hard, something happened with the police, whatever, something that comes to your mind and makes you feel the power.
When we started the protest, like the protest tent, what really I remember made me very sad and very angry is that 3 days later, when I went and occupied the public space, the chief, the housemaster, gave away my bed, and she broke my schrank where I kept my clothes, and she just put them in a polythene bag and tied them and put them in the cellar, you know. So my friends and the one came to me and said, "Hey man, even your chef has given away your bed and everything." But so okay, now I go better. It was really very empowering, even though at the same time it was sad for me, and it was demotivating other refugees who would love to join the protest, because they had to retreat, and most of them, they retreated back. They left the protest. So we did a lot of activities. We occupied embassies.
Embassies?
Yeah, where on the 13th of October 2012, we went and occupied the Nigerian embassy, where we faced a serious repression from the police. And I myself, I was arrested like a chicken, like twisted, you know. If you see the video how I was twisted, you say, oh, this is not German, where we hear about democracy and being, you know, democratic and respect of human rights. So, and after that, but despite all that, the effort, our struggle, there were no positive response from the state. Even Angela Michael didn't pay any attention, didn't spare any single time, any single moment to say, I would like to meet these people, why they're protesting. I thought Alice class, I know, you know, but she kept a deaf ear, and, you know, but also that one surprised us, that when you started to come in, that Angela Michael came in and said, we must open the borders. So that one reminded what we were telling the people, what we were demanding the German government to stop. It's new imperialism, you know. So due to all those facts, and when the Senate, like here in Berlin, wanted to clear our protest from Oranienplatz, there was a protest here, very close, the garden is here. So that's where we were, and they made some kind of dialogues, but the dialogues were not of our interest, were the interest of their own interest, because they didn't want to solve anything, or they didn't want to recognize our protest. What they wanted is to get rid of us and to make their image good, and to show their people that, you see, we are at work. We are working. We never failed, you know. And that's why they managed to manipulate the protest, the movement in Berlin here at Oranienplatz, where they bribed by giving fake promises to some of our friends who didn't know them well, who were not aware of the system, how the system works. So in that way, they managed to put down the protest by in a dramatic way, where our fellow refugees and the one demolished the tents. So, as if that was not enough, they say, okay, now we go to the next step, which is the refugee occupied school, because that school, we occupied it after we occupied the Oranienplatz, because it was too cold. We had children, we had women. We wanted to have a platform where we can establish and grow stronger. So that was one of the reasons, and it was in the line in our concept, what we are demanding, the right to have a free choice of living, a free choice of residence. So that's why we occupied that school, and but unfortunately, after the eviction of the Oplats, again in around July, I think, because the Platz was evicted on 8th of April 2014. So after 3 months, again they went to the school and evicted. So during that time, and this time there were also some offers, you know. Yeah, if you agree to leave the school, we're gonna give you hostel, we're gonna give you bribe elect, we're gonna give you social money, we're gonna give you, you know, as imperialists. So in that way, they managed to manipulate still other refugees, and some who said, no, we occupied this place for the agenda, and our agenda, it has not yet reached. Very many people are here without bribe elect. They have a lot of strafe, punishments, fine, because of breaking this law which prohibited us from not moving from one place to another. We have lawyer cases to answer in the court because of our asylum. So if you want us to leave the school, or as you did to the park, give us the right to stay, all of us, because that was our first demand. Yeah. Then we will leave your school and start our new life. They said no. So in that way, they used the force. They brought police from all over Germany. If you could see here, here is the occupation. I think within this video you can see the police.
Is this on the roof of the school?
On the roof.
And also the tents?
Yeah. So in this way, they brought tons and tons of police. The whole area was declared as dangerous or emergency area. And in this area, whether you would like to come close or to cross, you had to show your ID, passport, yeah? So it was crazy day. It was almost 2 weeks, 9 days officially. And the refugees then doing that chaos, the refugees, they said, no, we're gonna resist, and in that way they went on the top of the house.
What did they say then? Did they say, well, like I heard that someone said he will jump. Was it you? And what happened with this? Like, why did they go on the roof?
To stop the eviction.
How? What was the idea that came to the mind when people went on the roof? Was it not to let them out of the school? Was it to say that we would jump if you come inside?
The idea was to resist the eviction. And to say that this is our place. We took it for the purpose, and also we are people like you who deserves it. We have the right. First, I was among the people who occupied that school, so no one was using it until we went and occupied, you know.
And so what happened when people went on the roof? Did the police...
There were some...
What did the police do? Did they still wanted people to go out, or did they step back, or did they fear that people would jump, or what happened?
That's why you heard that people said, okay, if you force us, we jump over.
Okay, so people said we will jump.
Where are we going? You know, actually, where are we going? I can't go back to the lager. It's like taking me back to the sea. Seeing the waves, moving like this as if they want to eat you, and so we'd rather die from here.
But were people really thinking about jumping if the police would come to take them?
Yes.
Would they do it? Would they die for their idea of, or their right of staying here, let's say?
From what the voices we were communicating, and we were having interviews with them, from what we are hearing, what they were saying, they were ready to die. Yes.
So, again, with the school thing and the neighborhood, and how did that all work with the police? What did the people do? Were they fighting?
Yeah.
Was it...
since I was on the ground, the neighborhood were calm. And they were also, I think, very angry about the act from the police or the Senate or the federal government. And I think that gave also them the power to support the protest on the roof. Even though some of them, even I had a talk with some of them, they were not active in the protest, you know, or they could say, okay, people are living in the school, okay, that's fine. But when this came into their doors, very many people got angry and they reacted. I remember there was a book, library, a bookstore there, and this bookstore, they said, we open this for the refugees or for the people organizing some stuffs for the refugees. So there you could get warm water, you could get warm clothes, you could go there and get the information. You could people established info point there, and very many people they were invited to perform music. We blocked the streets, and people made blockages. They blocked some streets, and they could not allow just police to enter in, and it was like
was it violent between the people and the police then, or?
Of course, you know, police were trying to use force, and sometimes could use pepper spray because people want to go and not allowed, so they could use force, but the people were still calm.
So then the people were helping, but not the government?
Not the government. Why, if the government was helping, why didn't give the bribe elect to the people and brought police? You know how much they spent? We heard that about 1 million?
No.
11 million.
11 million.
11 million, you know? 11 million spent. Remember, the police in Berlin, it was not enough. They brought police from all over Stuttgart, then Nazi police from Munich, you know. So we were invited to give workshops, like me also. I was invited at the University Humboldt. I was invited in Wedding to give workshop or to tell people about the protest and how they can support the protest. I was invited by Catalina also to talk about the protest and how people could support the protest. The same protest when people there on the roof. Everyone was active, no more sleep. And also we are saying, if our brothers and sisters die from there, we're gonna die with you. Yes.
So it was very tough and very hard tough. When you came here.
Very tough. If you look to some of the videos, there is somewhere also where I talked very aggressive. I think in this video I was very tough. You see the face.
But why? Very tough. Yeah. Like, was it a shock for you to come to Germany and see that the refugee situation is like this? What were your expectations and dreams about Germany before coming there?
I expected to be in heaven.
And how was it like in real life?
The big disappointment, first of all, I got is to take my fingerprints. You know.
Why was that disappointing to you?
Because why they should take my fingerprints without explanation? Just that's how we do it, we have to take it. And not only once, and even after taking them, I thought I'm gonna stay in Berlin. But they say, no, you have to go to Bavaria, you know, where again they had to take another fingerprints for what? And even to make it more worse, they rejected me. They said, no, you have no right to stay here. And then what about my fingerprints I gave you? Don't talk about it. Go. You know? Yeah. So I want to go somewhere else, but I could not because of my fingerprints. So which means I belong here. So that one also made me to be aggressive and to take the street without any fear.
Can the people go inside? Can journalists go?
No, you are not allowed to go there because there is a big secret. They don't want you to see the reality, you know. They don't want. And now, as he was trying to remind me and you about it, it's like a prison, a new prison. And you know, it is really very crazy if you... And this system is not ashamed of what it's doing. It's doing things openly, thinking people are blind. Of course, maybe the German right-wing people are so blind. Because what it happened that when you came in, they started to say, okay, now we clear the school for the new refugees, for the good refugees. You know? So, and that one still the refugees, they said, no, we are not going to leave this place. Now what they did is they divided the school into 3 parts. The north wing and south wing. And the middle, you know, it's like something like this, you know. So in this way, the refugees who were there, only they were given option to take the middle part, the middle wing, which it wasn't enough for them, and also it wasn't in their mind that the school would be divided. And the other part of the northern part, they blocked everything, any entrance to the middle part. They didn't want any communication with the refugee activists living there and the new refugees, you know. So they blocked completely the contact, you know. And also the southern part, they blocked it, where they wanted to, even they advertised it for people to do commercial business, or some groups, NGOs, charitable groups, to do, at least to be there, instead of giving the opportunity to the refugees to do what they want to do. Because we are people with a life. Now we have children, you know. We want our children to have a kita. We had also a proposal that if it's possible, we start a kita where our children could go, but not. They could not listen that. We wanted to establish a refugee social center. No. And this optional part can't, people, they are sleeping there, so you can't do anything. And one part of it, it is declared that it's deadly, it's not safe in terms of fire. It is. So you could say that it was not really proper that the refugees were fixed to that point. But good enough that the refugees said, no, we remain here and we will stay here, and this is our place. So they are still there, and I think that is a very positive energy for us and for you too, to see that there is still resistance, however much the police and the state is doing to oppress the people, but the people say, no, this is our power, and the power we believe in is our struggle. We will stay here, whatever case, in whatever case. And so the radio in doing the same thing. We are people without papers. We started this radio. I myself, I put in much energy without having bribe elect, you know. But because I have the power, I have the voice, and I believe in that. So why don't I connect this voice to the people, and also have a platform where my colleagues could meet? And now you are here, and we have done a lot. And I think this should be recognized in the society.
Are there different laws for you who came before and for us? And do you make connections with newcomers, or like you stay in your own group of people who came 4 years ago, let's say, or 4?
So there are contacts, of course. And only that the system is wise enough that when you came in, they gave you more, you were more privileged, you know, you were more privileged than us, you know, which I don't think, I don't know whether it was nice for you to have a war in Syria. That you will answer next time, so that you are privileged or it was, I don't know. It's crazy, but anyway, that's how capitalism works. You know, it survives on divide and rule. So they had to find a way to divide us and to say, you are more privileged, you need more attention, as you heard from the Germany Minister Angela Merkel, you know. But in actual sense, not, you know, because at the same time, they came in with the new rules, policies, you know. Again, this resident freight came back. Even they cut more. It will be introduced in the packet supply, you know, so that the land price now they are reduced to town level, where you are not allowed, and the money again got cut, not 300 or as much people were getting before. And also, for now there is a division even in you. The people who came in 2015 and the people who are arriving now from Syria, they are getting less privileges than you who came in 2015. So all these are tactics to still make people apart. And the only way, I think, is to see the reality, and you, whether you came from Syria crying or jumping, we must go fighter and see a way to connect the fight, because you are here for a struggle, and the struggle must go ahead, you know, and to rethink why I left Syria and who made this. I believe in Syria there is no company producing weapons, you know. So where these weapons are coming from, you know, mostly Europe, here in Germany. So this should wake you up to think more.
You have a radio, and you usually, I think, interview people. So how does it feel that you are interviewed now? And do you have any question to ask? Because, maybe as a revenge or something, you have the right.
I don't like word revenge.
I don't like it either,
but in exchange. But already I am asking you something. Of course, I feel also empowered if you interview me, you know, and I feel that what we struggled for and what I struggled for, it is true. It is coming into a reality that we have our own media platform, you know, where people could come and we talk ourselves, not someone telling us, now you talk, you have 30 minutes, and you have to jump, and even at the end of the day you are not satisfied with what you have spoken, so and very many people have realized that it is important to have our own platform. Even the state, without being ashamed, its institutions are using this platform. They are coming here to have interviews, discussion with their students, like Humboldt University. They were here, and also they consulted me again, and other universities, they're doing this cross exchange. Like last time we had students from Chicago who were invited by Humboldt University, and they were here, and also this summer they are coming back, so we will have an interview with them here. And also the students from the local theater here at Bala House, also they did their film here, like what you are doing. They had their own discussion. I didn't interview them, but they did their own interview. Some other local people are using this radio studio to broadcast their radio shows. Even other radios like Reboot FM, we are collaborating with them. Also, they are using the studio. So I feel that the revolution is at hand, and there is no regret in that.
My personal aim is to learn more about it, because I knew nothing about the school thing and about the people who came and were not allowed to stay and how the police treated them. It's awful, and I wanted to learn about it and maybe to help somehow to keep the
struggle. Your intention was not to be a refugee, or you came here as a person running to go to Germany to save yourself, or but you found up being a refugee.
يعني شو كان بدهم يجوا؟
إنه شو شعورك لما اجيت لهون وسموك لاجئ؟ وإنه
أول شيء أنا مو لاجئ، أنا جاي لهون مشان حقق حلمي. يعني أنا ببالي حلم، أنا مو ببالي إنه لاجئ وشغلة تانية، بالي حلم أنا.
He doesn't have in his mind that he's a refugee. He has a dream, and that's why he came here. He wants to make his dream true.
Okay, he didn't have to go to this process.
He had.
Yeah, but
it's my.
And how are you trying to fight this?
إنه أنت ما رحت بهي الإجراءات، وكيف عم تحاول هلا تحاربها، مثلا السوسيال والجوب سنتر وهي القصص.
هو حرب نفسي، يعني كان حرب نفسي، بس يعني لازم يعني ما نشغل حالنا فيها مشان ما بنوقع فيها.
It's a mental kind of struggle for him, so he tries not to think about it so much and to keep going.
So do you like to join the We Are Born Free Empowerment Radio so that we empower ourselves?
لازم مشان نساعد أكتر، يعني أكتر ما قلنا، لأن إحنا أشخاص لازم نساعد بعض، إذا ما نساعد بعض نوقع.
He says that as a human we have to help each other, all of us, because if someone falls, the other will fall. So, of course, he would like to be a part of it.
Cool. So we have the contact, and you too, because the radio is lacking women. And the movement without women is nothing.